United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for letting us all join here tonight and give us the wisdom and everything to make the right decisions for the students and staff in the city of Maud. And thank you for these wonderful students we have joining us tonight for their accomplishments. Lord, be with all the armed forces and everyone else. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We'll call this meeting to order. Note that we do have a quorum present with all 4 members but 1 present. The next item is recognition of students of the month in the board conference room. The board will come around front.
Good evening, everyone. At this time, I am going to present the Soaring Cardinal Awards to the following students. In Mrs. Pate's class, we will start with Miss Millie Epperson.
That's impressive.
Millie is so kind to everyone. She is always ready to help her friends or teachers. She goes above and beyond in everything she does. She works hard and never gives less than her best. She is the definition of a soaring cardinal. Next, I have for Mrs. Pate's class, Miss Carson Coleman. Carson is sweet and keeps us on our toes. She's very smart and she always has an answer ready. She works super hard in class and she always gives 100% to everything she does. Carson is always smiling. She is a great friend and a helper. She is also the definition of a soaring cardinal. Next in kindergarten we have for Mrs. Flannery's class, Sophie Singer.
Good job.
Sophie is always eager to learn and a good friend to others. She is respectful and works hard each day. She is all the things that a soaring cardinal should be. Sophie Singer. Next we have for Mrs. Gordon's kindergarten class, Jasmine Henderson. Next, for Mrs. Carroll's class, we have Axel Miller. Axel is hardworking and very eager to learn. He always tries his best. He helps others when they need it and accepts help when he needs it. He is a great student to have in class. Next for Mrs. Jones, first grade, Keelan Acosta. always does his best. His smile is contagious. He is a perfect example of a soaring cardinal. Next, for second grade in Mrs. Epperson's class, we have Trenton Helms. Need someone to brighten your day? Trenton Helms is your guy. He is always smiling and in the best mood. He's a great listener, such a hard worker, and always does his best. He is a amazing example of a soaring cardinal. And next, for Mrs. Norris's class, we have Miss Eliza Brown. Eliza's love for learning shines through in everything she does. She is eager to learn, always tries her best, and is a great friend to all. She's truly a joy to teach. We'll be a little late. Our middle school organization of the month that we're going to celebrate tonight is our junior high cheerleaders.
Big booty. Big booty. Big booty. Big booty.
So these young ladies, these are a few of our junior high cheerleaders that have worked so hard this year. These young ladies, they bring spirit to every game they cheer at, every event that they are at. They're always fun to watch and to look at and listen to when they're out there just pumping up the crowd. But these ladies are also very busy with strenuous schedules, and they have other extracurricular activities. I know Brinley's dad was telling me she's going to softball practice right after this. So these ladies, they do a lot, and several of them are going to be trying out again Saturday. So we wanted to make sure that we recognize them before this squad was going to be a new squad. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you their grades.
I'm Brinley Henderson and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Madeline Owens and I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Presley Carroll and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Lily Watson and I'm in 7th grade.
So again, just a lot of fun to watch these girls, and really enjoyed having them be our middle school cheerleaders this year. Our high school organization of the month is our varsity cheerleaders and Monty.
Again?
So we have Miss Brandy and our high school cheerleaders, and Monty, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll talk about them a little bit.
My name is Caleb Brower and I'm in the 11th grade.
I'm Kennedy Collins and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Bailey Branham and I'm in 10th. I'm Maddie Bradley and I'm in 10th.
So Caleb here has been our Monty this year, and if you haven't been to a game, basketball or football, you've missed out because he was so much fun to watch. He pumped up the crowd, he danced, kids loved to come up and see him and everything. He just did a great job, and it was so nice having him as our Monty this year, just to get out there and show our Cardinal spirit. And these girls have done a great job with the assistance of Miss Brandy, their sponsor. As I said, just like the junior high cheerleaders, these girls are very busy. A lot of the other girls aren't here tonight because they're actually at track. And so these ladies are also in softball and other organizations and events around campus and have dual credit and honors level classes. And so they have a really busy schedule and they do a great job every Friday night at our football games, and then they also cheer at basketball for our district games. And they just have a way of just captivating the audience and making sure that everybody feels like excited and part of the game and stuff. And so I wanted to make sure, again, that we recognize them before we have a new squad, because all of these girls are underclassmen, so we'll have a new squad here in about a week. So I want to make sure that we recognize them as our high school organization of the month. So again, our high school cheerleaders and Mighty. Our secondary staff member of the month is Mr. Chambers. So Mr. Chambers, he teaches our 6th and 7th grade math courses. And as you know, math is it's a very difficult subject for a lot of people, especially like myself. Mr. Chambers does a great job. He goes above and beyond for our students to meet their needs, to teach in different innovative ways that appeals to all of the learning types. Our students do a really great job. He will sit there and he will analyze their test data, what they're doing in class, to try to help them, to get them to where they need to be able to be successful. And he just goes above and beyond every single day. If I ask for something, Mr. Chambers is always willing to be there to help me, to help our students, to help other faculty and staff members. And so I just wanted him to know how much we appreciate him on the secondary campus and wanted to name him as our secondary staff member of the month.
Are we done? So thank y'all so much for coming out, supporting this great group of kids tonight. Everybody received an award. If you come out in front of the crest, we're going to get a picture to post and recognize you. Parents, family members, y'all are welcome to stay, but do not feel obligated to do so if you do not want to. Thank you. All right, moving on. Next item is item 4, public comments. Nobody signed up. Communications? No, sir. Having none. Consent agenda, we have the minutes of the February 27th regular meeting of the board and the monthly financial report. Does any board member have any item they want to pull or discuss? Do we have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
Make a motion.
Have a motion? A second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Raise your hand. It's unanimous. Next is the information items, principals, and athletic report.
All right. Ms. Siggers, elementary.
Good evening. Sorry, I did not get them stapled. This is hot off the press.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So as you look at the attendance for this month, we went up dramatically. Last month it was like 87 point something. This month we're up 97.64. So the sickness is left and we are healing and the kids are coming to school and we're so excited. Okay. Before I go into my report, I just wanted to take a minute to recognize the incredible response of my teachers and staff during our recent power outage. What could have been a very chaotic situation, our team remained calm, composed. They made sure the students felt safe and supported throughout the entire process. So their professionalism and quick thinking turned into what could have been a very stressful experience into a smooth and orderly transition. We got our babies on the bus, we got them taken care of, and there were no hiccups. I was very proud of our staff. They did a great job. This past week we had our book fair, and Grandparents' Day and open house all in 1 week. The library and classes were full of parents and grandparents. They came to hear about everything we've been learning this year. And we are very blessed with the best parents and community. Our total profit from the book fair and books and cash was $2,256.67. As you can see, Grayson Dunn won our $25 gift certificate to shop at the book fair. He was the closest student to guessing the amount of goldfish in a container. He was so proud. Also, the 4th grade class, Miss Kite gave them a goal to work to the school. Whoever could bring the most coins would win a water balloon throw. And the water balloon throw is for both of our coaches, Coach Carr and Coach Fernandez. So 4th grade brought the most, so they will be throwing water balloons at the coaches in the near future. We had a positive office referral this month, Mr. Harvey Chitty. He was, we got a new student in our school, and he has taken him under his wing and made sure that, he knows where to go, what to do, and all the other kids. He's introduced them to them, and he's just a true Cardinal. Coming up, we have a lot of events going on in April. Next week, on the 26th, the high school is going to have a UIL event. The elementary teachers will be helping with that, host it, so we will not have students that day. March 29th, our DI students will be performing in Arlington for the state championship, so we're really excited about that. And of course, we have spring break coming up. We will have on April 11th a STAR pep rally. I'm really excited about that. The teachers are going to come up with skits to get the kids pumped for the STAR test. And then on the 18th, we're going to do our first it'll be our first Easter egg hunt, and it'll be for pre-K through 2nd grade. We'll have the high school student council come and hide the eggs for the kids, and the teachers are all pitching in to donate eggs for the kiddos, make sure we have enough, and it's going to be a fun day. And I think besides all of our field trips coming up, that's it. And of course, STAR this month. We have 3 STAR tests in April: the reading, math, and science. So.
You're using all real eggs, right?
That costs too much.
No, maybe the grand prize will be a hard-boiled egg. Okay,
They stink too. Thank you.
thank you. Good evening, everyone. There on our first page, we have a report of our attendance, and I can second what Ms. Seeger said. The flu and the illnesses seem to be out of the secondary. Our attendance was up this month. I told Ms. Brady this afternoon, I said, Mr. Terry's going to be so excited about this. We're very excited about our attendance going back up, and if you'll see there on the second page, you can see how well we've done this month with our attendance. And 8th grade and juniors, they were our February champions, as you can see there, and they did get their Sonic drinks, and that has been a great prize for our students. And Dr. Seegers was very shocked when I told him this afternoon that our 7th grade and our seniors are actually our 2 winning grades for this time. And seniors in 2nd semester,
I've never seen it.
he's never seen it. I've never seen it. So we're so proud of our seniors and being here at school and everything. And so really proud of all of our students and our attendance for this past month. We have completed our MAC benchmarks. Well, I'll show you that data here shortly. So all of our benchmarks are completed at this time. In this past month, our band
They competed in solo and ensemble, and had 7 students receive a 1, which is a superior rating, and 10, and a percussion trio that received a 2, which is an excellent rating. So we're very proud. Every student that went over there received a 1 or a 2. So all of our students did a great job. Our Ag Mech team, they competed in the hooks welding competition. Mr. Barron said they did a really great job over in that competition. Our band also competed in their UIL contest for concert and sight reading. And for stage, we received a 2-1-2, and we received a 1 in sight reading, which I got to watch this year. It was very eye-opening, because our students, they're actually handed the music. Mr. Fannin has 7 minutes to look at it himself. Students cannot turn it over in that 7 minutes. They just have to sit there, and then they turn it over, and they have 3 minutes to look at it, and they have to play it. And they're judged on how well they play it. So it really is a great attribute to our band program and how well they are able to read music, because they've never seen this music before. So I was really proud of them for getting a 1 in that. There on the next page, we also had a great time at open house. Our CTE programs, they had a display, and we did kind of a CTE showcase, because as I said, last month, February is CTE month. So we wanted to recognize and celebrate all of the accomplishments and the projects and everything that those programs have done. So if you guys were able to come up, you saw Mr. Barron, they had a lot of their ag projects out. Ms. Brown had a lot of her projects in her classroom that the students have completed throughout the year. And Ms. Neal had some things that they were working on, and Mr. Brown as well. So really excited about what we had for open house this year. Every single teacher, though, had something for display for our parents to come and see, whether it was our favorite book that they read, and our young readers were critiques over what stars they would give, what was the most interesting thing and everything, to Mr. Chambers and our math putting together projects and hanging them up outside. So we really did a good job with that. I was very proud of our teachers and then our students for all the great work they did. We've also had several recruiters on campus in this past month to visit our juniors. We started trying to expose our juniors to opportunities for next year, and we'll continue doing that for the remainder of this year, and then we'll pick right back up next year. We've had the University of Arkansas, Southern Arkansas University, University of Arkansas at Hope, and Texarkana, and Henderson State actually was out here today. We also had 16 students pass their American Welding Certification test. So that's a great thing, and you'll see those numbers, that how they affected our CCMR thus far with our lower grades and stuff. Our seniors also completed in a mock interview. We had guest panelists here that asked them questions. They came up and they did a really great job. We had a lot of positive feedback, got some great critique for our seniors to use as they move forward, whether it be scholarship or job or any kind of interview they're going to go for here in the next couple of months. So we was really glad to be able to do that with our seniors. And our seniors, I'm telling you, I was really, really proud of our seniors. They did a really good job. Stephen Hall, he went with Mr. Barron up to the United Welding Institute this past weekend, competed in a welding contest up there in Pottsville, Arkansas. And our Ag Mech students, they took off this morning and headed out to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Went out this morning, saw the trailer and everything they had loaded up, and so they're heading down there. And of course, no stop would be complete without a donut stop that they've already made, so it's a good trip thus far. You can see there our upcoming events. Our high school track teams, they are over in Queen City competing as we speak. We do have cheerleading tryouts coming up this weekend. Our juniors are going to take their ACT test next week. After spring break, we're going to hit the ground running. We've got golf and prom over spring break, and then we get back, and you see there we continue with a little bit of track and some different events for our seniors coming up, all the way till the last page here where you see our banquets and our award ceremonies and everything pretty much for the remainder of the year. We'd love to have you guys come to those events if you are available. And then you can see there our STAR and EOC testing schedule. We will kick those things off on April the 10th. So I will switch gears. I will grab my other forms here to update you guys on how our benchmarks have taken place thus far. And so what I've done there to keep you from having to go through every single line, if it was something that we have tested or something that was updated, I highlighted it yellow so that you could see and it would draw your eye to it. Our goal one there for 100% of our students to graduate high school in 4 years of entering 9th grade. And so what we're doing is we are using our STAR assessments, and that's what our students took, the Release 2024 STAR test as our benchmark. You can see there the A is, that's for just passing, and then the M is for meets, where our goal is. Our goal is for meets, so, but I did want you to see approach as well, because like I said, that is passing the test. You can see there, we, in English 1, we approached with 82% and had 64% meets, excuse me. So we're right at our goal right now there. In English 2, we had 58% of them actually mastered, and of those, approached, and of those met. So they're doing really well there. We've got some work to do, but the ones who are there are doing really well. Algebra 1, we had 85% of our students approach, and 46 of those students, 46% of them, they met. We're a little down from our goal. I spoke with Miss Allison and Mr. Chambers, and you'll see that here when we get to the 6th and 7th grade. Both of them stated that they had not completed all of their TEKS. They've not completed all of the material. However, we tested them on everything because we wanted our students to see the test and to get a good feel of the test. It's been a while since they've taken a full-blown assessment of this nature, so we went ahead and we tested them, but that also gives us data that we need moving forward of what we can help and support them on. In biology, you can see there, our biology students are doing a good job. We have 76% of them have approached and 66% of them met. So right above where we'd like to be. We want to continue to see growth out of that. 79% of our juniors, our U.S. history students, they approached, and 50% of those are at that meets level. So very close to where we want to be. Do you guys have any questions out of the high school portion there? And I can tell you now just on all of them, as soon as we finished every single benchmark, we had a PLC that day. So our teachers had their data, we had our data, and we sat down and we looked at where we lacking. And we had some real discussions. What do we need to do moving forward? And so we talked about our areas of weaknesses. We talked about our areas of strength. We revisited and re-looked at our tutorial schedule that we have every single day. And so we have already started working with every single student during our tutorial time based off their benchmarks. Our math just finished up this week, and Miss Allison's will change tomorrow, and she will start working on those. So you'll see that Algebra 1, we know that's going to go up, and Mr. Chambers is going to start on Monday, and you'll see that as we go a little further. But I do want you to know that we are working, because that's what I told them, it's a great starting point. And I'm excited, but we've got room to grow, and we're going to grow. And so that's just moving forward, that's what we're looking at, is how can we continue to help to support our students, encourage our students, so that they continue to grow. So if you'll turn the page there, you'll see there on, we've looked at with our college readiness, and we've changed some of those percentages based off of scores that we've received back off ACT. We've not taken the TSI yet. Our juniors, that's the numbers that we will have taking that next week. So went ahead and put that in, and we'll see those numbers continue to increase as we take those tests and as our students take, of course, regular national tests and everything, which will increase the numbers from our CCMR and all of that good stuff. So we will continue to see those numbers increase to reach our goals of being 60% college readiness. And our TSI, we already have Miss Reinhardt working on that in English. And with our juniors, we have Miss Allison and Miss Prater working on that with our seniors and juniors in math. And we have college prep classes that help us to prepare our students for that test, because I'll be real honest with you, the TSI test is quite different from the ACT test, and it's a difficult test. The writing sample is difficult. It gives you a prompt, and you have to stay on the prompt, and you have to do it within a 600 word limit, but you have to get as close to that 600 word as you can. So, but it's a different style of writing than they've taken with their STAR test. So it's really kind of retraining them that junior year to really look at the writing differently. And so that's what Ms. Reinhardt's really done this year with her juniors. There at the bottom, you can see our 8th grade. Those are our 8th grade scores that we've had from this past benchmark. Our English, we had 80% approach. We had 58% of those students meets. In math, we had 74% approach and 30% meet. We had in science 81% approach and 33% meet. And in U.S. history, we have 74% approach and 22% meet. I'll be real honest with you that U.S. history, that's one we have to work on. It's one we always have to work on. It's a very hard test. Coach Bush, we've sat down together. We've revamped some things that we're doing. We're revamping in the curriculum and in our instructional strategies to really meet the students where they are and then to pull them where they need to be. So we're working really hard with our 8th grade in those 4 areas, because there's a lot of room to grow there, and we need our students to grow because there are 4 tests that they will be taking. On the next page, you'll see results from our 7th grade. And these two are very similar. There's a lot of correlation here. In our English, we had 74% approach. We had 43% meet. And in our math, we had 73% approach and we had 36% meet. Again, Mr. Chambers is really working hard with those students. The students in 7th grade actually have 2 math and 2 English classes. And so we get very specific with our tutoring of who we're pulling in. And one thing that we're doing also, we're not just pulling in students to get them to approach. We want students to pass, we want to get to approach, absolutely. But our goal is meets and masters. And so we've been very specific with our students of who we're pulling in, very intentional. That's been our word for this year. And we're pulling in students that we know are a couple questions, a little bit of material away from getting that meets, or a couple questions, a little bit of material away from getting that masters. So that's one thing that we've started from our benchmarks, is using that data to be very intentional with our groupings during our tutorial time, especially in our middle school groupings. And then there on the last page, you'll see our 6th grade. Our 6th grade in English, we had 73% of them approach and 41% of our 6th graders met on their English. And we had 79% of our 6th graders approach in math, and 44% of those students met the standards in 6th grade math. And so that is where we are right now at our interim testing time, our benchmark testing time. The good thing is we have the numbers, we have some time, and we're getting intense with our tutoring, we're getting intense with our teaching, our instructional strategies, to just like I said earlier, to meet our students where they are, to support them to get them to where we need them to be. You guys have any questions?
You got a lot of work to do.
We do.
Well, and part of it too, some of those scores, specifically, I know our math was the one that took last. If there were as many as how many, 5 or 6
5 questions on the
that
6th
wasn't-
grade
that
test.
hasn't been taught, that's really about 10 percentage points that it breaks into.
Yeah.
But doing it what they did, that they do learn if the kid has any, if they know those concepts already, they know, they have that information. But it does skew it to the low end with that piece right there.
Right.
But, I expect them to not get that piece right if they haven't been taught.
It's just a fraction of the students, right? Probably 2 or 3 students.
Oh.
That's,
Well, that would be 5 students across, that would be 5 questions across the board for all 6th grade. Mr. Chambers went in and he came and sat down with me after his scores came in. Like in 6th grade, he said, I'm telling you right off the top, there's 5 questions we have not got to yet. And I said, okay, when are we getting to them? And so we sat down, and so that would be all of the students that would be information, yes, sir, that they are going to go over. Mhm. Yes. So we know those questions, and then we also know, like I said, our weaknesses that we've got to go back and spiral back in, because it's obviously a concept that we're still struggling with, or maybe the type of question. So we have that information as well from these benchmarks. Yeah.
And from my understanding, on the 7th grade, like you've got 11 and 12 kids that met, and I think the same 11 and 12 on both sides of it.
Yes.
But the way I took it, about 8 of them was about 3 questions away
Right.
from being masters.
Yes. Yes. And those are the kids that, I told you we're being very intentional with our group. Those are the kids that he's pulling in separately to try to bump them up to that master's, because we've got to see our masters grow. I mean, we knew that from this summer when I presented to you guys, all of our areas in masters, we knew we had to work on that. And so we've got to get, obviously the meets has got to get there, but we've got to get the masters to grow too, because those students have to grow as well. Like you said, when they're 3 questions away, we're not worried about passing and stuff, but they still have to grow. And so that's who we're really working on as well. We're not just trying to get to here, we're trying to get to here as well. Yes.
That's when we got masters last year, is what he told me, that he said, I think that was 3 questions.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know that if we go from here to here, then
Right.
that hurts our score.
It absolutely, because it hurts your score on your meets and masters, but also hurts your score on your growth side of it as well. Yeah. Any other questions or
Big piece here is
anything?
they're shining that flashlight.
Absolutely, it does.
They're not
It
waiting
does.
until it's too late.
No, and it, like I said, we've had some real conversations from this and ways of what can we do to help support you. And that's what we're doing as a team. We have everyone on board trying to support all the teachers that are in the trenches in these STAR tested subjects, and all of us, what we can do as an admin team and everything, because we're all in this together. So that's, like you said, it shined a light, but allowed us to have some real conversations that we needed to have. Yeah.
well, like I said, it screws your numbers because you did give them the whole test.
That's right.
And it wouldn't be taught on it.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Yes. And like I said, we wanted them to see the whole test because they've got to understand that's what it's gonna look like here in a couple of weeks, and so to get ready for it. Yeah.
The end result's what's important.
Yeah, that's right.
okay.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Anything else you guys have?
Good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. President, and the last thing is athletic report. Coach Turner's at the track meeting today. We did give a 1-pager there. Just looking at overall pieces for basketball, powerlifting, golf, track, softball, baseball. Just real quick synopsis there. I know right now they're running in probably every direction possible. I know I don't have any school buses left on the lot. The day's over each day. They're all gone. So thank you, sir.
Means I get to go to, where am I going?
Abilene.
Go to Abilene.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a fun drive.
Yeah.
That's a fun day, though. That's a.
You ever been to Abilene?
There's nothing there.
Right.
But I'm saying the meat is.
There's a college. Kinda.
Any questions on that?
Well, moving on, next is deliberation and possible action to approve a contract with RecTex LLC, Rogers Construction, for the construction of the new cafeteria, 2023 MISD bond program.
All right, board. This has been a long time coming, and last meeting we actually presented the contractors to you in rank order, and the board did accept that. Rogers Construction was the top pick for as the best firm for our construction project. And we spent the next several weeks working with our attorney. And I will say, Mike, and his side, they were the fastest I've ever seen turn out a contract from anyone else we worked with. And so they lit a fire and got it rolling when we finally got one in their hands. And so, we do have that piece here all together. It's already signed by Mike and his team. And we have the resolution here as well, should the board choose to do that. Mike, anything you or Brandon want to say as far as prior to us taking a step forward here?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the board for trusting us and doing your project for you. We take pride in everything we do, and we're going to take pride in your project, for you. And so we just really appreciate your confidence in us, and we're going to try to get something knocked out pretty quick.
That sounds great.
Any questions anybody got?
So about 2 days after we do this, we're turning dirt, right?
I'm ready. We have a pre-construction meeting next week on Thursday. And then after that, we've already got everybody lined up.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, what was it, Monday? You called me and said, "Hey, when's the fence coming down?"
Yeah.
Just trying to get things.
And so
We're eager too.
so that was like, man, good stuff. So anyway,
When we've talked to Richardson, we personally talked to them.
you did.
They're good. They're ready to roll.
All right, board. And there's some sample language there in front of y'all.
Yeah, I got it. Where's that?
All right. So on the cafetorium, we have a motion to approve the resolution of the Mod ISD Board of Directors to approve a contract with RecTex LLC Rogers for the construction of the new cafetorium 23 MISD bond program.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, we have a second. Second. All in favor? It is unanimous.
All right. Milford and Terry will sign all these, and we'll do it now, or we'll do it at the end. Anyway, we'll do
They
it.
did them, we can do that.
No, we got to send them back to the
Okay.
So that's a done deal now. So Mike and Brandon, we're excited about that.
We are too.
Now that we're official.
Next question is when we're finished, right?
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what, we are very eager to get going with you.
Perfect.
This has been like I said, a long process, but at the same time, I feel like we've got the right team for us to turn out a great product, and look forward to working with y'all in the next several months to turn out a really, really good product for us.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Appreciate y'all coming tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
We only got about 3 hours left if y'all want to hang
Great.
around.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, you're please here. Okay.
Come see me while you're Any signage we need. See, any
Thank you, guys.
logos.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you.
I don't know what you are. What is that? Where are you? I don't know what is that. That's crappy paper, probably. They're not printing on it or what? I'm just making sure you get something different. It's your attachments, push them all over.
We're ready. Next item is accept certification of unopposed candidates and approve order to cancel May 3rd, 25 school board trustee election and declare the unopposed candidates elected.
Okay, Mr. President, we filed everything as we should have and posted as we needed to make the positions, for positions 1, 2, and 3 available. The candidates that did sign up for it were our existing board members, Terry Johnson in position 1, Tim Roberts in position 2, and Rusty Bailey in position 3. And there were no opposition in that. So all we have to do tonight is accept this and declare it as such, and basically sign the papers, and Ms. Holly takes care of the rest. So, anything else I need to say with that, Ms. Holly?
That's correct.
Okay, so we need a motion
Yes.
on that.
I make the motion.
See that item 9 there on that?
Yeah.
All right.
Accepted. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. Cancellation of election, yeah. So we have a motion to recommend the board accept certification of unopposed candidates and approve the order to cancel the May 3rd, 25 school board trustee election and declare unopposed candidates elected. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor? Good, unanimous.
How about that? I thought you'd already read it.
Kind of had to. All right. Consider impossible action to approve the 25-26 academic school calendar.
All right, board. A couple of you hit me up early on this, seeing if what we're projecting for next year on start date. And so, and we typically bring this to you a month earlier, I believe.
I just trying to plan vacation.
Well, no, I understand now. We were trying to coordinate. One of the things that we try to do is to coordinate very closely with Redwater because we share the SSA with them. And if we deviate, then it's really unfair to our employees and our kids because there could be family members that would have different vacations, spring break vacations, or different holidays. We want to try to make that as close as possible. So there wasn't much changes in this one from this past year. Still starting with the staff coming back on July 30th. First day of school is August 6th, unless the legislature does anything to change that in the next couple of weeks. We do have the 2 equivalency days in October, which have typically been there for a little break. And then we have the week in November and 2 weeks of Christmas. One thing that we did do from our feedback from our teachers was last year we had an early release on the day before we got out of Christmas and the day of we got out for Christmas. And this year they recommended, hey, let's push that into only 1 day there. Because what they wanted to do was after that 4 to 6 weeks was to have another day built in where they could do some work in the classroom. And so after that winter break in February, that 23rd is now a preparation day, which is a change from this past year. So it just kind of helps set that stage there for moving forward. And then this year, typically we would end school on a Thursday and graduate on that Friday in May, but there is a statute that we cannot end school before May 15th. And so we had to switch that up a little bit and to give the teachers the same amount of time that they have as far as closing down. We chose to put that as an early release on the 14th and an early release on the 15th. And so we will have school on that day of graduation, which Ms. Harrell said that won't be a problem, handling seniors and all the preparation that goes with it. And I'm sure Ms. Seegers is going to figure out a way to have programs there and get them off campus pretty quick anyway on that day. It's typically the way it works. But anyway, that's the only changes to the calendar as from over last year. So we still have 182 days of school. There's 187 staff days in here, which makes sure that we meet the requirements for paying our staff as full-time staff. Any questions?
Is there any way, this is not on the website, I cannot find
Well, we had a document.
it. Not even last year's. I cannot.
It's there, but it's hard to
I
find.
mean, it is
You have
hard
to,
to
yeah,
find.
you have to go into the family piece.
Can you put a
We
bug
can-
in somebody's ear about making it easier to find?
I think you just did.
You have to make it so easy even a banker can do it.
That's right. That way you don't have to email it to me.
Any discussion? You have a motion to approve the 25-26 academic school calendar as presented.
I'll make a motion.
A motion, have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? It passes unanimously. Consider possible action to approve an MOU with Atlanta ISD to serve as an evacuation, sheltering site, and reunification center.
Okay, board, this is just like the ones that we did earlier in the fall. This is with Atlanta ISD using their, trying to think of, make sure it's their auditorium space, which is the one right behind the tennis courts, or right beside the tennis courts. It's a massive center. It's got more than enough room to handle us. We can bus into it with extreme ease and shuttle out and put kids out, reunify through their front. So it's an excellent facility for us, and so it gives us another opportunity, another place. Should we have to evacuate this site, that is, one, staged far enough away to allow whoever's working in this area to work, but also a place that's big enough to handle an entire district at one time and adequately put them back with their families, which is our number one goal. So, as far as language of it, it's exactly the same as it was with the charge and with Lindy Kilbear.
We've also been saying that.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or discussion? Got a motion to approve the MOU with Atlanta ISD to serve as an evacuation, sheltering site, and reunification center.
I'll make a motion.
A motion, have a second. Second. All in favor? Unanimous.
Ditto with New Boston.
I miss reunification up there. Also, yeah, do we have the same motion for New Boston?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Good. Thank you. Unanimous. Consider possible action to approve recommended update to board policy FDA local.
Hey, board, FDA local is really looks at our transfer policy for accepting kids. And our current one, FDA local, is it's got a lot of flexibility in it. And so one of the things that we or need to be able to do is to have some more guidance and stipulations in there for looking at accepting students, so that we know that we don't take away from providing services for kids that are our mod kids. And so what this does, FDA local, the recommended or the revised recommendation here really spells out some more pieces there. So if you look at the if you put them side by side, you see there's obviously more wordage to the FDA local recommended. And so one of the big pieces is availability. If we wouldn't grant a transfer status to somebody if it wasn't within the normal capacity of the school to provide that for them. And what I'm trying to say is, I don't want to have to add a kindergarten teacher because I have too many kids in kindergarten because I accepted too many transfer kids. So it gives us that flexibility to say, we've reached our limit. We can't bring in any more because it would be a financial burden to mom. So that's what we're trying to get to. Adds in resident students. Resident students who becomes a non-resident in the course year shall be permitted to continue in attendance for the remainder of the semester. And so that's typically what we've always done in school, but we're just spelling that piece out, making it more specific. Because anytime kids move, it's always it's a learning curve. There's a learning loss that could occur there. So it's just spelling that piece out that, hey, we welcome having your kids continue to be a part of our school system, even though you may move out of district. Children of district employees spells that piece out more clearly throughout this. But basically, if they're a district employee, we want to be able to grant them the opportunity to bring their kids to Maud ISD and take care of their needs. When we get down to the bottom of that page, we start looking at factors. Transfer approvals shall be subject to the following requirements: not violating existing statutes, and a transfer shall not be approved that will limit the educational opportunities of resident students. And that's a big piece right there. We do see a lot of our transfer students have additional needs. Some of them that we had no idea of prior to. And what this does as far as the statute, it also put together, we've also have the updated transfer process, which is much more in depth as far as what we're asking parents to bring to the table when we're doing potentially accepting a transfer. Again, we want to make sure that we're taking in everything that's needed for taking care of kids, but at the same time, let me give you probably the one that makes the most sense. If I'm taking a transfer thinking I'm going to spend $6,400 a year on a kid, but that this kid actually costs $15,000 a year to educate. I didn't know that on the front side, and so we've just taken a substantial loss trying to educate a child that wasn't necessarily our obligation, if that makes sense. So again, just trying to make sure we look at it through a financial, I guess, being prudent there with our resources so that we're not hurting mod ISD kids. That's the whole point. Okay. And then as far as transportation, we don't offer transportation for non-district kids. So, I'm not gonna meet them at the county line and pick them up on the bus. To me, that's just, one, it's unsafe. But two, if you're gonna bring your kids to mod, then I want you to drop them off at the campus. So that's a big piece there. And so as far as the actions of the board, that would just be updating FDA to FDA local, recommended FDA local. And so the application packet and I brought a copy, I don't know if you want to all read it or not, but it's substantially larger than our last one was, which really creates a lot of information for parents for the website, but also a lot of information for our principals when they're gathering the information, and all that ultimately comes to me for the final decision of whether or not to accept the child. Basically, probably Melford said it best when we met. He said, used to we were pretty vague because it gave us more flexibility, but with the way things are going in the legal world now, we need to be as specific as possible so that the actions we take don't end up jeopardizing us and putting us in a court case. And that's kind of the quick and easy version of it.
We don't want to be forced to take other schools' problems.
I know the main thing I read through and finally found it, and make sure that we could dismiss them.
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yes,
it's
sir.
still in there. So.
Yes, sir. And inside of this, there's your letters now that, hey, your child is potentially getting to a point of needing this, and then to the point of we're dismissing your child from mod, you have to re-enroll in your home district. And so that's just, which goes right in line with our DOI. So it just builds the legal language into it for supporting those pieces better.
Do we have a motion? Do we have any discussion, questions? We have a motion to update to approve the recommended update to board policy FDA local. So
We'll make a motion.
a motion, we have a second?
I'll say.
Second. All in favor? Superintendent's report.
All right, board. So, just so you know, we do have updated practices and procedures for mod ISD transfers. If you have trouble sleeping, it's here for you. It can be a great read. You don't have to take any action on that. But I did also want to give you an update that we have updated our 504 manual. Again, it doesn't take board action on it, but it's just letting you know that we're trying to make sure that we stay compliant with the nature of the law and support our kids to the best of our ability and support our staff in doing that. So we've made some substantial changes to our 504 manual as well. And I know we talked about this last year a little bit. I don't know if I brought it back to you, but I wanted to just take the moment to bring it back. Last year we had some questions about cell phones and stuff like that, and how do we search that? So we do have our mod ISD procedures for searching smartphones and those pieces there. These are for our administrators to get that guidance that they need for how far to go and where to stop. And so it puts us all on the same page so that one principal or director is not out there on a limb by themselves, and they have some type of similarity to guide it all the way across the board. So those are just pieces that we've been working on in the last several months. But again, they help to solidify, put us, in best practice, and make sure that we're in a place that will stand up if we're ever challenged. And we have vetted those two out. So those are. It wasn't just Dr. Steger saying, "Hey, we need to do it this way." We vetted it back through the attorneys to make sure that it would hold weight and defensible as always. Any questions on those? Again, they're great reads. All right, summer school. Right now, secondary campus is not planning on summer school activities. The elementary is for sure looking at 3 through 5 summer school to help with, is it House Bill
House Bill 1416.
14, 16? And I get confused because 2 bindings ago was a different number. And so the old in me remembers the first one and doesn't remember the second one. And so, but you know, it's to allow them the opportunity to remediate our kids and get them ready for their next academic year. Because the whole point of that House Bill is that we do extra to help our kids get ready down the road. And they can have it during the summer. It can happen during the school year. And so, and I believe secondary has taken advantage of that piece with their scheduling to actually offer those opportunities during the year, which has worked well. And so, especially with the amount of activities our secondary kids are involved in. And then we could have, not 100% sure at the moment, 1st through 2, 1 and 2, possibly. But there's still some to be, a little bit to be determined on that piece right there. So anyway, those just let you know what's kind of baking out there in the future. And that'll be here before we know it. But I want you to at least have a heads up of that piece. And the last piece is April the 10th is spring board training at Region 8. It's at 5:30. There is a meal provided on that one. And I think we left out last year about 4:15 last time. And that got us there with plenty of time. We'll just meet up here again at the office and take the Suburban right over and come back, and we'll make sure I have to apologize, last time we did not do a great job of showing everybody where the side door was so that you can get out of there easy. But we'll make sure you get that, get you out of there as quick as possible.
This one's the legislative, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's legislative.
Yes, sir. Hallway, date.
Date, yeah.
What date was that?
April the 10th. And that will be a good dinner that night. So I'll throw out some more stuff in the next couple of weeks to remind you on that piece. From there. Other than that, Mr. President, I do believe that is it on the superintendent's report.
We'll be going into executive session at 7:39 p.m. Discussing personnel according to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Discussion of personnel, discussion and consider contract recommendations of the following personnel: elementary teachers, middle high school teachers, instructional coordinator, school nurse, school LVN, licensed vocational nurse, part-time coordinator, student services, and character education. Discuss and consider contract recommendations of the following personnel: elementary teachers, and resignation and retirement from employees. In executive session this time. Coming back into open session at 8:44 p.m. Next item on the agenda is consider and take action on personnel contract recommendations.
I'd like to make a motion to extend the contract of the elementary teachers as presented.
Have a motion, we have a second? Second. All in favor? I abstain, I'm sorry.
Two abstain.
Two abstentions, me and RJ abstain.
Okay, 4-0.
4 plus 2 abstentions. I have one job to do.
I'd also like to make a motion to extend the contract by 1 year for the secondary teachers as presented.
Motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous.
I'd like to make a motion to extend the contracts by 1 year as presented for the following staff members: Amanda Breyer, Lisa Jennings, Kara Sutton, Lisa Hutchins.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Take a motion. Oh, not second.
Okay, all right. All in favor, raise your hand. Passes unanimously.
Is it all number?
We still
Yes,
on
we're still on 17. I'd like to make a motion that we offer a 1-year probationary contract to Amanda Hargraves, elementary teacher.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous. All right, then we're moving to item 18, consider and take action accepting resignation and retirements.
Make a motion that we accept the resignation as presented.
All right, we have the resignation of Noah Fernandez. You have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Next item is adjourned. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
No motion, we have a second.
Second.
Second, all in favor? No abstentions. Passes unanimously.